going to start this announcement off by saying I don't know much about what happened today. I know basically what's in the title and what's in the Jordan Love picture. There's, that's right, Sage. I saw that you liked it. I saw that you crept in and liked it. The comment was directed to someone other than you that had left a comment. I don't want to single them out, but that's what transpired. So, Sage, don't worry. You're on a good list, okay? You're not on the naughty list yet. Well, where do we even want to start? I know where Sage wants to start. So it was a real big day in the world of the NBA. Absolutely no moves, no news, no nothing in NBA. So you're all brought up to speed there. It's a good thing that the NBA is not like a focal point about like what our channels are. Like, how are the podcasters out there getting by, covering the NBA? Absolutely nothing's fucking happened this off season. So I don't know how they're earning their keep, so to speak. Unless they're just breaking down the G League, as if anyone wants to pay attention to the fucking G League. Like, come on, man. NFL, Sage, I'm going to ask for you to help me with the NFL. I do believe my memory is correct, but it's just my memory, so it could be incorrect, but most likely not. I think that Marshawn Lloyd returned to practice from his groin injury. Jordan Love had minor surgery today on his thumb, non-throwing thumb. Supposed to be out for a week, return to practice, and show up for week 1. So if all goes to plan, not going to be a big thing, but I guess it happened on a pass that he was making that grazed the helmet or that sort of thing. So I mean, it is what it is. We've got the Packers GM Brian Gutekunst saying that Christian Watson, with his knee injury, is going to begin the regular season most likely on the PUP list. I said that months ago, weeks ago. That's clearly what's going to happen. Could be an interesting stash in fantasy, though. Oh, I don't know. Did we cover Myles Garrett reckless driving? He was doing a 100 miles per hour in a 60 mile per hour zone early Saturday morning. So it was after 2 o'clock. So he's probably drunk or something. I guess he flipped his car, and this is not the first time he's gotten in trouble for kind of driving this way. No charges filed. They're not going to suspend him or anything like that, but apparently he has a pattern of reckless driving, so he'll probably die like that Philadelphia Eagle guy died that played with Reggie White. Guy that was always out on the motorcycles. What's his name? He was a great defensive lineman there. He was a nose tackle. If the name comes to me, I'll let you know. But yeah, he died. That's probably how Myles Garrett's going to go too. Looks like James Cook practiced Tuesday. I know he's been in a bit of a conundrum about his contract, but you're a running back. You're not going to get paid, man. Shut the fuck up. What else do we got here? I guess Matthew Stafford wasn't practicing today, and I think he was spotted in a, I don't know, some weird vehicle to do some sort of weird therapy, so not sure what to make of it. It's a back injury, so we'll see, I guess, but he's got a history of back injuries, so there you go. Looks like Alan Lazard of the Jets is going to miss a couple of weeks with a shoulder injury. That is according to their head coach, Aaron Glenn. Romeo Doubs of the Packers left Tuesday's practice with the trainers, so I actually do need to read through this. Got medical attention after coming up with a deep ball. Was crouched over for a couple minutes. Walked off holding his lower back. What they're saying here, it's hard to speculate on what kind of injury may have happened here based on this information. Well, it seems like a lower back injury to me based on the description that you gave me. We have already been practicing without Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed. So I don't think it's anything serious. I think it's just precautionary. I think it'll be alright. Some idiot named fucking Kevin Fishbane, I almost called him Kevin Fishbrain, is saying that Caleb Williams hasn't been consistent enough in training camp. Well, go figure. What else do we got for NFL news? The Vikings, accordingly, could keep some quarterback named Max Brosmer on their 53-man roster. I don't know who that is. Don't care to know either, so I'm not reading the article. God damn, there's a whole lot of nothing when it comes to the fucking spring training. Oh, there you go. NFL has been covered. Now we turn our attention to none other than Major League Baseball. So let's take a quick peek here and see all three teams today in the AL East that matter. One, so the Jays have a 4.5 game lead on Boston and a 6-game lead on the New York Yankees. The scores, I know Boston blew out the team they played. I think it was like 14-1 for Boston. 14-1 against the Astros. The Yankees... Did the Yankees even fucking play? I asked Dan if they fucking played, and he said they played. Yes, they won 9-1. Okay, thank God. I was going to have to change my fucking title, I thought, there. Let's run through the box score of the Jays. So, Nathan Lucas, 1 for 5. Bo Bichette, 1 for 4. Vladimir Guerrero, 3 for 4, almost up to an 890 OPS. Were any of those hits extra bases? Doesn't look like it. Addison Barger, 0 for 4, so kind of falling back down to the, to where he's supposed to be. Alejandro Kirk, 1 for 3. Dalton Varsho, 2 for 4. With a home run and an RBI. Ty France, 2 for 3. He's actually up over 700 with his OPS now at 705. Ernie Clement looks like he hit a 3-run shot, maybe 1 for 4 with 3 RBI and a run scored. And Jimenez, is that the right Jimenez playing? Probably. Looks like Andre Jimenez returned tonight. He was 1 for 3 as well. So his career. His season is now a 625 OPS on the year. So congratulations to him for being above 600 for the OPS. So for the home runs, we already kind of said who they were. So Ernie Clement had his 9th of the year. Dalton Varsho had his 12th. Let's just see the pitching. Had a lot of fucking pitchers go tonight, I'll say that. We had Berrios, kind of shitty in one respect, not shitty in the other. Only 2 hits and 5 in the third. 4 walks though, 3 strikeouts, so that's definitely not a nice ratio there. ERA on the year 2.74, so I'd say a good 2 or 3 starter. We really need Shane Bieber to pan, is all I'm going to say. Mason Fluharty, fresh off his first save, but no runs in 2/3 of an inning. Thomas Nance really struggled in 1/3 of an inning. He let an earned run, let a couple base runners on, I believe 2 or 3 of them. Looks like fucking 2 hits and a walk, and he can only get 1 out. So that's when the Jays were up 4-1. That actually put us in a very precarious situation. Brendan Little starting to bounce back. I don't know how much I can trust Brendan Little, but we'll see what happens there. Scoreless inning. 0.2 and 2/3 of an inning. It's okay. That's great. Louis Varland does look good though. Scoreless inning, 2 strikeouts. Jeff Hoffman picked up a save. Doesn't say how many, but he must be over 30 now in the year, I would say. Take a look at the comments, and I am going to probably disagree with the first one that I see. Alright, Sage says, I hate the training camp panic. That's what it's for, to get the guys used to new systems and stuff. Dan says Varsho, when I was talking about home runs. He's on a tear. We know that he's on a tear, but he is, a career 710 career OPS? He's on a tear, but the regression to the mean will occur. You really like Fluharty? I don't. I do not think he'll be pitching with the team in 2 years, and most likely he might not even be pitching on the team next year. Because if he's pitching on the team next year, that means we fucked up in free agency. His stuff is extremely below average. He doesn't offer anything. Maybe a bit of a deceptive delivery, but Brendan Little does it better. I don't even think Brendan Little's going to be good here in a year or two. These guys come and go left, right, and center. Relievers are just as volatile as a fucking atomic bomb. So I do not expect these guys to be long-term fixtures whatsoever. A guy like Louis Varland, though, I actually do think will be. Because he fucking averages 98.1 with the gun, right? So there's a difference there. If you're fucking averaging 90 to 92 miles per hour, you're going to have to go back to the 80s to be effective, in my opinion, over a long term. The Pete Rose Bowl cut sees me looking to clinch a first-place seed for God knows how long. I would say relievers are far more volatile than NHL goalies. Like, I think an NHL goalie would be more consistent like a starter, to be honest with you. Because normally they're going to be, like, serviceable. You might have a guy 1 year, a 2 to 3 ERA. The next year, he could be a fucking 6 or 7. Or 5. It happens all the time. Like, it's, the turnover of relievers is so crazy that, like, signing them, I would disagree. Relievers are not more important than starters. Starters are far more important than relievers. That's why starters get paid the big bucks and relievers don't. Now, having a good bullpen as a core is not quite as important as having good starters as a core, because if you've got good starters, you've got 67% of the game covered if they're going 6 innings every start. So starters are far more important and far more valuable. Now, you don't want to have a shitty bullpen. I can tell you that. You want to have at least, for like an average team, you want to have at least 2 or 3 guys in your bullpen that are like pretty good, you know what I mean? Late inning guys. But like the bullpen, like, you're not going to see a lot of these guys. Like, we could look at like bullpens that the Jays have had over the years and what they did in singular years, and then look at what they did after, or vice versa, like Anthony Banda, who we got from Pittsburgh. Left-hander who throws pretty hard, does shit with us, shit with Pittsburgh, doing really good with the Los Angeles Dodgers this year. Now, is he going to be a fixture in the Dodgers bullpen? No. But he's doing a lot better and has a lot more of an arm, a lot more talent than a guy like Mason Fluharty. A good bullpen is important, but my point is if you have good starters, you're covering more of a gap. So starters are, I would say, at least 2 to 4 times more important than a relief pitching core. If you give me fucking 5 aces, I'll make it. I'll just fucking go back to the good old days. I'll just have my guys pitching 9 fucking innings. I'll be like that fucking manager there, Rhodes. What was his fucking face? The old guy that coaches in fucking Houston. Coached in San Francisco back in the day. Dusty Baker. Was it Dusty Baker? Dusty Baker just let them fucking pitch all the time. He was with the Cubs as well. I think the Jays were a little short on what they did in terms of bullpen this year. I'm not saying go out and spend a ton, but a guy like Danny Newcomb would have been far better than Mason Fluharty and Brendan Little. Has a proven track record for multiple years, and you wouldn't have had to give up much for him. So that's all I'm going to say about that. There was something I was going to look up. What was I saying? What was I saying before I brought up Danny Newcomb? I mean, if you want to call him Duke Nukem, you can. Absolutely. Absolutely, Sage. I'm trying to think of what I was going to fucking look up here. It'll come to me. Let's move off it before we waste too much fucking time. All right, let's go back to what was it though? No, I wanted to find out what's going on with Yimi Garcia, because if you knew that this guy was not going to pitch, you should have picked up another reliever for sure. And we didn't necessarily add because we subtracted Chad Green as well. So that's just kind of a neutral move. Jimmy Garcia hasn't been great this year. Let's see what we can find. Let me just check over here. I could have swore there was a fucking update. Let me just type in Yimi Garcia. The latest. Is there anything on Yimi Garcia? Why would you tag Sid60 for an update on Yimi Garcia's status? You're a fucking idiot, that's why. Is Nick Sandlin injured as well? Yeah, he's doing breakfast television, so I don't know why I'd be tagging him, and he never knew his sports to begin with. He was just a guy who liked to hate on fucking the Jays all the time. He was super annoying to listen to. I don't get any sense that Jimmy Garcia is returning. Not based on what I'm looking at. So my source, known as Mother, must have been wrong. This is promising. Nick Sandlin has been throwing catch up to 105 feet. Okay. George Springer should be back very shortly. Alek Manoah is going to make a rehab start in AAA, aiming for 70 to 75 pitches. So you're going to see Manoah up here. So you'll probably see fucking Flu Hardy off the team real soon. Anthony Santander is in Toronto. Hopeful to start swinging in the next week or so. So Santander could be a big pickup down the season. I mean, he's already on our team. But we need to look for Nick Sandlin to start throwing off a mound. He's been pitching for a couple weeks now. So actually, that's a bullpen arm that could be pretty useful for us. So a lot of guys coming back for the Jays. Not to mention Shane Bieber, I believe, is returning the next roundabout. So I think when they go to Pittsburgh or something, Shane Bieber's going to be back. So a lot of arms come. We've also got a guy. No, it's not Yves Laverge or whatever the fuck his name is. It's another guy. That was. Let's just go to the AAA roster. So let's go Buffalo. Because if I see the name, I'll know who it is. But we do have a guy down there that throws heat that should potentially be coming up as a bullpen guy. Where the fuck is it? Can I not sort it by fucking pitching? Wouldn't be Trey Yesavage. Trey Yesavage will probably make the team next year, though, at some point. But Trey Yesavage would be interesting, but that's not the guy. What is it, this Hayden Juunger? There's a guy we moved up to the fucking AAA that's supposed to have a big arm. Could help us out very soon. I don't know. He was brought up not long ago, so I'm not really sure. If you guys can find that out, that would be interesting. Here, let me take a quick look at the comments. The league leader in complete games is 2. It's pretty fucking crazy, and probably the entirety of fucking complete games is like 30 or less. Didn't who get let go? The MLB record for complete games in a season is 73 complete games. What do you mean? Yeah, he got fired by Sportsnet, I think. MLB record for a team? Oh, for a pitcher. Oh. Old Hoss Raidborn, 73 complete games, 1884, Providence Grays. That season he started 73 games and finished every single one. He also won 60 games that year, another MLB record. The thing is about the stats is I don't think you can go beyond like 1980 or 1970 and actually look at them as actually stats. In the late 1800s, early 1900s, the parks were so fucked. Everyone fucking hit like crazy, man. The parks were so big. Then you had parks that were big in certain spots, small in certain spots. You can't look at anything that was done pre 1980, in my opinion, and look at it as being even close to the standard of today. Well, James Shields throwing 11 in 2011 is a pretty impressive feat. James Shields, I can tell you, was a hell of a lot better of a pitcher than old Hoss Raidborn. I can tell you that. Oh, he lost the Breakfast Channel. Well, I didn't know that. He did come off as a complete fucking douche, so, I mean, doesn't fucking surprise me at all. Cocky fuck. Sid was an idiot, man. Like, holy fuck, Sid was a fucking idiot. Alright, I'm gonna try my best now. Who was that guy? No, let's just get off it. I think the bullpen's in pretty good shape if you factor in Alek Manoah as potentially a long man, but I don't know how you're going to use him. Yeah, I think Tim was better. He actually kind of knew what he was talking about a bit more, and he's still kicking, right? So, like I said, Blue Jays win 5-1. I am winning against Sage. When I first reported it, it was 10-4. It is now 9-4. So Sage trying to scrap away. Alejandro's astounding squad is stuck 12-2, looking pretty fucking shitty. Bases loaded IBB really looking to sweep Graham's great team to have a chance at the 6th seed. He's up 10-4. Annette's awesome team is beating Dan 11-4. Sage, I want you to keep a close eye on that series and make sure people are setting their rosters. And by people, I mean a person. It's unfortunate that we have some transactions that did transpire earlier today. And these are some heartbreakers here. Charlie Morton, who might not ever see the light of day, if he's the 43-year-old, I'm not sure if he is or not, but Charlie Morton was cut, as was Felix Bautista from Tommy Callahan's Auto Parts. Bases loaded IBB added Bryson Stott, Philadelphia, second baseman, dropping Ivan Herrera of St. Louis as well. Nah, one was Philly, one was St. Louis, my bad. The Dark Sliders dropped Logan O'Hoppe for Augustine Ramirez. I was the first one to find Augustine and provide that data to Corpse Files, who proceeded to drop him in favor of Adley Rutschman. Dark Sliders added Jojo Romero for Sir Anthony Dominguez. Alejandro's astounding team picked up Adam Vaughn. How is he still available? Adam Vaughn.
Andrew.
Andrew Vaughn. How'd she get him? He's had a pretty good year. Andrew Vaughn, because he's on the Brewers right now. Let's take a quick look just at their stats. See, this is kind of like our trade deadline in a way. The last flurry of moves before we can't make one goddamn move. So Andrew Vaughn, wow, they're really hyping up like he's having a good year. He looks like shit. He's got a 705 OPS. That's all I have to say. He's below. He's like getting a Ty France. Am I looking at the right data? However, with Milwaukee, he's got 1,045 OPS and 106 plate appearances. So I don't know. He's been really bad. So if you look at just this season, he has a negative 1.8 WAR while he was with the White Sox in 193 plate appearances. With Milwaukee in 106 plate appearances, he's got a 1.1 WAR. I don't think I've ever seen a tale of two tapes in one season that is so different. 531 OPS versus 1,045. So potentially a buy. I don't know. Maybe they're feeding him up some good cheese there in Milwaukee. I'm going to look up Jojo Romero. I believe he was on my team at one point. That's right, when I had all the Cardinals last year with him and Andrew Littridge. 1.98 ERA. Does not strike out a ton, but not terrible. 38 and 41 innings. FIP much higher than the ERA, 3.03. And the whip, 1.27. So, pretty good pickup, I would say. What else do we got here? Logan O'Hoppe, high power, low average, low on base guy. I'm not going over his numbers. I will look up Agustin Ramirez. And I know that this guy is actually not a catcher. I do know that for sure. They play him at first and they play him at catcher. Cannot catch at all. WAR's in the negatives. He's got power. That's about it. So 727 OPS, a 444 slug. So, I mean, that's impressive. 17 home runs, but a 237 average, along with a 283 on base. So, not bad. Not necessarily great, but it's a catching position, so it's not going to be the end of the world there. Let's see what Bryson Stott is up to. A second baseman. There's no way he's that good, otherwise I'd probably have taken a look at him. Baseball. Reference. Well, what is he doing? He's not doing terrible. 7 home runs. 19 stolen bases, 242 average, 317 on base, and a 672 OPS. So, if I needed stolen bases, I'd be absolutely interested. In fact, you're going to see me dropping a lot of good players in the playoffs, and I'll explain here in a minute. Once we get through, oh, we did get through everything. So, I'm going to explain some of the players that you guys will be seeing in the playoffs that you haven't seen in a little while. Ronald Acuna will be back at some point. Yordan Alvarez will be back at some point. Shane Bieber and Bryce Miller will all be back at some point very soon. So, going to be certainly very interesting for me to trot my way to the finish line and get a first place ribbon. All right, let me take a look at the comments that were made while I was taking care of business. Sage has said, I got the wrong end of my rotation. Felix is officially shut down. I saw he was shut down for the rest of the year. It kind of seemed like that when it was reported initially. Hunter Green is back tomorrow, so Morton is a cap casualty. Hunter Green's going to bring you some heat. That's one thing he does do. One of the hardest fastballs in the game. It was a 727 OPS for Agustin Ramirez when I checked.
No Andrew Vaughn.
I just broke down the Andrew Vaughn in a nutshell.
Well, I wasn't talking about Augustine.
I mean, it's 713 now, so he went up a bit more, but like I said, he's hitting like crazy in Milwaukee, and he hit like shit in the White Sox. You could look up the splits. Something in the air in Milwaukee. JoJo is now their everyday closer. The 23-year-old rookie will get a much-deserved breather after he had started at either catcher or designated hitter in 41 straight games. I mean, that's fine, but we know what he is. He's low average, low on-base percentage, and pretty good power. That's what he is. He plays every day, whereas other catchers get days off frequently. You can find quite a few catchers that play every day, though. Like, the catcher I got plays every day. The catcher, Shea Langoliers, I think, plays pretty much every day. Adley Rutschman plays pretty much every day. There's not many of them, but in a small league like we've got, you can certainly find it. I think even the other Contreras plays every day, so you can find it, but much easier to find one that doesn't. How many moves do I have left? I've got 3 left for the week, so definitely looking to attack second base, potentially an outfielder, but I've got outfielders coming back, so might not do that. What's kind of funny is Noelvi Marte is still hitting for me, though. I'll say that. He looks like he might actually be legit. You're allowed to do illegal trades. If you drop at a certain time, and then I add at that time, those are technically legal trades, Sage, so you can't hold that against us. You actually can't, Sage. You understand? I love my team. Sage, don't tell us to fuck right off or we'll do this stuff. Sage will fucking veto any time a player from my team gets dropped and goes to yours and vice versa. Even if they're like, it's not a fucking malicious fucking trade. See? He's already threatening it. Alright. I believe Sage has ruined it for all of us. He told me to eat shit. So that's where I draw the line in the sand. I don't get paid enough to be told to eat shit by one of my renchmen. Sage, you go sit in the corner for 12 minutes and take a fucking time out and leave me the fuck alone. Think about what you've done, son. Alright, we're calling it there. There's no Age of Empires tonight. There's nothing. I'm all gamed out from yesterday. It was so much fucking gaming. But we'll be back at it at some point, for sure. Alright, I am now pressing the end stream button. Everyone have a good night. And make sure you hit the like button before you go, because I see a few of you haven't. So kindly hit the fucking like button. Thanks. Good night. Bye.